Pope Francis passed away today at the age of 88, April 21st, 2025. And it brought on a hidden gem of history that I completely forgot about. Does anybody else remember the trial of Pope Formosus? Anybody? The Pope that died, and 7 months after they exhumed his body and put him on trial for crimes. Pope Stephen's the sixth, I do believe. He was the successor to Pope Formosus, and he felt as though the Pope before him did a horrible job. So he wanted him to be put on trial and wanted his reputation as Pope to be completely discredited. So after Pope Formosus had a stroke, 7 months later, they exhumed his body. He was put on trial. He was dressed up in potpourri garb, and they actually had a deacon speak on Pope Formosus's behalf. So, of course, Pope Formosus was found guilty of his crimes, which were like perjury and like some other stuff. But he was found guilty, and they stripped him of his popely title. They cut off three of his blessing fingers on his right hand, and they buried him. Which eventually they also dug him back up, put weights on him, and threw him into, I think, a river, if I'm not mistaken. Pope Stephen VI wasn't a very good pope in his own right. He was criticizing Pope Formosus, but he wasn't very good, apparently, from what the history says. But eventually, Pope Formosus's remains washed up on shore, and he was buried back into, he was given back his popely name or whatever, and buried at the, what's it called, St. Peter's Basilica, if I'm not mistaken. That's where he was originally, and then they were like, "Meh," and then they unburied him, and then they buried him someplace else, and then they took him out, and then they threw him in some water, and then he washed up on shore, and then they buried him. Pope Formosus really went through some stuff, and the Pope passing away just really like brought up that weird bit of history that I had in the back of my head. So yeah, who'd have thought?